To add baselines, what you really need to do is right-click anywhere in the Gantt area and select all, which is also Control A. Once you do this, you want to select all tasks, because when you're creating a baseline, it creates a baseline, which is kind of a layer, a snapshot of that point in time based on your selected tasks. So once you've done that, then choose Baseline Selected Tasks by right-clicking again, and it'll ask you, do you want to update a critical path? Depending on what you're doing, 95% of the time you're going to say yes. The only time you would say is no is if you are looking at somebody else's schedule and you don't want to press reschedule, and you don't want the critical path to update, and you just want to create a snapshot first, then you would say no to that option. And you'll see how it, under baselines, under the project navigator, it plays baselines in the window. Now the next thing is, after this point for updating, you're going to change the data date. And if you notice, what we're going to do is we're going to change the data date and move it up a week. Alright, and if you notice, we're scheduling from the data date, and the data date is set to the 22nd. Now if we go back to click on baselines and you choose baseline, you'll see, alright, that was last week, so notice that the project is pushing out, or you could say it's slipping by a week, and that's really nice, especially when you're updating, because you can see where your tasks were supposed to be in comparison to where they are now. The nice thing about using baselines for updating is, planned tasks tend to change. Your schedule that you start off with at the beginning might be completely different on how the sequence of events really occur. And so it's good to set a baseline after every update that you've done at the end of the day. If you notice, what I did is, after that baseline was created, I right-clicked on the name of it and renamed it Contract Baseline. So this could be the first, maybe this is your first go-round, and this is the schedule that you're holding yourself to contractually with the owner. And hence renaming that Contract Baseline, and it also has the date with it. Now I'm going back to project, alright, and if I reschedule again, I push myself out to the 27th, and if I click on the 115 baseline, you see I've pushed out even farther now compared to my contract schedule. So what I'm going to do now is right-click on those bars where it says Start Finish and Customize Columns. Okay, so right-click, you'll see a name, duration, start, and that little blue bar, go to Customize Columns. Click on Task Parameters. And what's nice here is when I click on Baseline Start, bring it over, Baseline Finish, bring it over. Always use the top two arrows, never use the bottom two arrows to bring things over. It'll bring everything over in your columns. So if you see now, there is basically this memory of that baseline. So the 115 baseline shows when the original start of that task was based on that baseline, and when that baseline finish was supposed to be. And then you can compare it to the actual, the newly, planned start and finish shown to the left. It's nice to compare these, because as you're updating, you're dropping crazy, and there's a lot that's going on. So as you're updating, if you don't quite remember when it was supposed to start, but you started on time and started on the planned start, which could be the original baseline start, you can just go over to the status under your task properties, and when you click started, you can just choose the date and choose the baseline start date. Because if that actually started on, if the first task really did start on 121, not 131, then, and you know that it's supposed to finish on 121 as well, and then you can just go right there. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go to Start. Okay. Now, don't choose Plan Start. You have to choose the date. The Plan Start would actually have you starting on 131. So we need to choose the date. And looking at the baseline, we're like, all right, well, we started this task on time. Okay? So at this point, I'm going to choose a date, which is 121. All right, and now you see that it sucked it back. And the finish date, you can either click on predicted finish if it was truly supposed to be. Predicted finish is based on when it was assumed to be done based on the baseline finish, which was 121. So we'll go ahead and say OK. There you go. And if you reschedule now, as you're updating, you're going to see the schedule is sucking itself back in, getting you closer to on track to your contract schedule.